Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. We have just watched a game of two halves, I'd say, but fucking hell, mate, we're going to get into it on here today. I know that because I think me and Tom are just going to go right at it, but it is what it is. Bottom of the shop is Tom, and to my right is Lucas, and we've won. We've won a game, everyone. We've won a fucking game at last, thank God. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. Lucas, I'll start off with you. Thoughts?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pleased we got the 3 points, but that was the most undeserved 3 points I've seen in quite some time. We were really lucky, and we didn't seem to turn it up until the last 15, 20 minutes of the match, in my opinion. Just if I had to describe what I saw, lucky and undeserved. Villa were not great, but neither were we, and that had 0-0 written all over.
Have you seen my thumbnail? What I writ? Smash and grab. That's what it was. It was a smash and grab. You know what I mean?
And no one can convince me we played well today, besides the last 15, 20 minutes, and that is even a stretch in my opinion.
Tom, take it away. Come on, I'm going to think different.
And I'm really not trying to be negative. That's real. That is the real spiel.
I'm happy. Listen, do you know what? After the first 3 games of the season, if it's a smash and grab that gets 3 points on the board, that's absolutely fine. I'm not happy with the performance in the first half, but I think from what we've seen so far in the Premier League this season, I think the second half was a much, much better performance. And I think there was a period where we were clearly dominating up until the point where we scored the goal, and deservedly we should have had the lead at that point. Obviously, there'll be a few things that we get into that, you know, people will disagree with and everybody will have different opinions on. But I think introducing Ben Rama was the key to changing the game. But if I'm being honest, he should have started the game because he's been our best player this season by a country mile. And, you know, even in some of the shitter performances, at least he's looked to do something. But I'm the opposite to Lucas completely. I think, yes, it's a smash and grab, but who cares at the end of the day? It's 3 points. The players, especially like Declan Rice, took confidence. As soon as he scored that goal, he was the best player on the pitch for about 15, 20 minutes. And it just, we go from here. It's positive. We've got 3 points. We're signing Paqueta today. All of a sudden, everything looks a bit more rosy. So,
but
it's not going to look rosy on Wednesday. We played like fucking shit.
Yeah. Like, I'm not being funny or nothing, I was going to start off. Let's start off at the beginning of the game, right? We come out and we set up in this. Right, can one of you tell me what system we set up in? Is it a 3-4-3 or is it a 5-3-2?
It's a 4-3. Oh no, it
looked like a 3-4-3 to me.
It was a 3. It was 3-4-1-2 was the system because Fornals was playing as a 10
and Emerson was pretty much at midfield.
Yeah, right. Playing as a left wing back.
Yeah,
but I agree with Richard on this. That system was 8-2, and that was my argument on Twitter. And I was having it with people on Twitter. I had people photoshopping me face, making out I was a bird. Everything. It was fucking hilarious, mate. I love it. But what I can't understand. This is my point. And I'm going to go around the room. We're going to discuss it. Yeah. First thing, number one, we set up so negative against Villa, who have been poor this season. Why are we setting up so negative? Like we've got attacking players.
That's a great question, but really, that is a great question because, in my opinion, today I didn't agree with the system or formation, but I thought the players played worse than the system. That's just my opinion. But I personally did not agree with that setup at all. And the only reason I can think we did that is because of 3 games in 6 days, essentially, with Viborg, and Wednesday against Tottenham. But I can't see in a world why we set up that way against Villa. Villa are so bad. They're as bad as us. We should be going out to look to win, we should be going out to win, not to not lose.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. This is exactly what it felt like. It felt like we'd set up and we were shitting ourselves, absolute shitting ourselves to go forward in the first half. Terrible. And anyone who says that system, and I just want to say this, anyone who says to me about fucking data and analytics and all this bollocks, have a look at that and your eyes don't lie. It was shit. Right? You could have all the ball, but if you're going nowhere with it, what is the fucking point, gentlemen? Please.
Messi, Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos could have played in that team today, and we still would have looked shit.
What do you honestly think on that first half, Tom? Because you was happy with the change of system.
Yes, I was. And again, I don't think that the system was the problem. I don't. I'm not buying into any of this. I'm not buying into the fact that, you can't all of a sudden, you got so many defenders on and whatnot. You can still be creative in that system, right? There's still some players there that have scored plenty of goals, that are attacking, etc. I don't think it was too defensive of a system. I think the player choice was wrong, and I think the players that were currently playing or starting that game look so devoid of confidence. We're not just talking about one or two. I'm talking about Bowen. I'm talking about Wright. Our key contributors at the moment look completely devoid of confidence. So I don't think it's helped in that aspect. And I think not starting Benrahma was a massive thing for me. I think Moyes is, Scott's just sent a picture into the group chat of him hugging David Moyes afterwards. I think Moyes maybe realised that he made the balls up with that one. And even then, when it got to half-time, I don't think Emerson was actually the change to come off for me. It would have been Fornals at the time.
That was a harsh substitution.
Yeah, I thought Emerson had actually looked very competent down the left-hand side. And listen, after he went off, Cresswell actually did really well in the back four. Again, he looked to overlap quite a lot. And I think, for me, that system, the 4-2-3-1 that we play regularly, I just think that some of those players are more comfortable in playing in that formation, which is fair enough. Again, I don't think it's the formation that hasn't worked. I just think the players look so devoid of confidence. In my own opinion, that's what I think.
Because, but how can you say that? How can you say that, Tom? I'm trying to say this. How can you say about confidence when the second half we come out and we look 1,000 times better?
Because I think they're more confident in their own ability to play in that system. That's what I think. I think that system maybe suits some of those players a little bit better. But again, I also think if we'd have started with that, with Benrahma on instead of Fornals in the first half in that system, I still think it could work. I don't necessarily think that it is a bad system. I just think, and the thing is, you're going to have to try and find a way of getting Paqueta into the system that we've got, and I don't know how that's going to work. Because realistically at the moment, I would say that Benrahma's undroppable. I think Bowen, being one of our better players, undroppable. The only player for me that I think it can be for is for Souček, maybe, that he comes in and starts for. But yeah, for me, sometimes you're going to have to come out in a formation like that against the opposition that we're playing against. And again, I don't think it's too bad of a. I don't think it's what I was trying to. My point before the game is, and what I didn't see from us in the first half is when you're playing in that system, you've got to be very fluid. You've got to play quick passes. You've got to go from side to side quickly. Right. You've got to make diagonal passes, because the idea of that system is you've got to create an overload on one side. So you've got to create, the spaces either side to get in behind the fullbacks and create that overload. But unfortunately, none of that was happening. It was like the first few weeks of the season. Everything was it was slow. It was, the players that people were picking up, the positions that players were picking up, everything was just, there was no intensity to it. As soon as the second half came out and they went back to the formation that we're used to with the 4-2-3-1, all of a sudden that sort of changed a little bit. But again, the five at the back thing, or three, or however you want to look at it, it can work if there is a fluidity and if there is a bit of intensity. But we haven't seen that. You cannot play that system if you don't have those things. And unfortunately for us, we just didn't have that in the first half. And as soon as we reverted back to that, you bring Benrahma on, and all of a sudden the game starts speeding up. The players Benrahma picks up a lot better positions in behind the striker than what Fornals was picking up. And all of a sudden it just seems a little bit easier. And then as soon as Rice gets that assist for the goal, his confidence is back, and he was flying into a few charges and stuff. Like I said, the system can work, but there's just a lack of confidence from some players that played that started the game. And I think if you do everything in that system a little bit quicker, all of a sudden it looks a lot better. But maybe today wasn't the time to play that system after the fact that, a lot of these players are playing without confidence. So, but listen, in terms of the actual performance in the second half, we really did dominate for 15, 20 minutes, and we did look at actual decent outfit. Whether or not Lucas wants to believe that or not, but if that was the manner in which we got the result today, I don't care, because at the end of the day, it's 3 points on the board. Sorry, that was a long spiel.
Lucas, counter that.
I mean, I'm happy we got the 3 points, but I'm not going to say we played well because we didn't, and that's a fact. We completed 78% of our passes today. That is fucking horrific. That's terrible.
And that's in the system in the first half.
78% is a team.
Right, a lot of the
That's got to be around bare minimum 83, 84. We did not play well today. Last 15 minutes, I can say we looked different. We looked a lot better. But even when we changed system, we did not look that great. The players were well off it today, regardless of the system or formation.
It's somebody said where he's about Fornals quick passing, not Fornals' thing, is it? See, I think again that's the difference for me when Benrahma comes on. Is he actually looks to move the ball?
Quick passes, not Fornals' thing. Yeah,
he looks to move the ball. He looks to run at a back four, and I think again Paqueta will be very similar to that. Players that can control the game and dictate the pace of it and stuff. And I think Paqueta is one of those players that will be able to do that. And maybe, again, when you're playing in that system, having players that are looking to maybe slow the game down too much isn't right. Because, as I said, when you're playing in that sort of, 5 to transition into a 3 or whatever, it has to be quick. And I think some of the players that are on there today, and especially Cresswell, for instance.
I've got to say this, though, Tom, Moyes is a very, very lucky man today. Extremely lucky. Because we could have been fucking losing at half time. If, Villa were all over us in that first half, literally all over us, and we didn't have I don't even think we had a shot on target in the first half, did we?
No, we didn't. We had one shot and it was off target.
It was off target. It was 4-0. He went out for a fucking throw-in, right? So in the first half,
can I ask you both one question?
I'm just real quick. I don't want people to think I'm being negative. I know I sound negative. At the end, I am happy we've picked up 3 points, but the realism of this,
we've got away with it today.
We got away with it. We were lucky, and yes, I get it. Villa weren't good either, but that had 0-0 written all over it. We were not that great, and if we play like that against Tottenham on Wednesday, you all are going to be just like me, and I'm going to say I told you so. Unless we switch something around. If we play like that, we're losing 3-0.
Yeah.
So can I just say?
But yes, I'm happy. Finally,
fucking smile then, you fucking bastard.
No, because I have people coming after me saying we played brilliant in the second half.
We didn't play brilliant today.
That is a lie.
Come on, because I'm not being funny. We could have easily been fucking 1 or 2-0 down in the first half.
Okay,
easily.
So before we go into the second half, in a second, can I just ask this? If, for instance, let's just say hypothetically, Graham Potter was the manager at West Ham, right? We have the players that can play in that system easily. If you look at our best team on paper, I think going forward, Emerson, imagine this of a back five of Emerson at wing back. You've got
people today, man.
Zuma, Kera, Aguirre, you've got either Johnson or Soufal on the right, Rice, Paqueta, Benrahma, Scamacca, and Bowen. On paper, that looks like a very good, fluid, attacking, quick team. That, for me, is...
It ain't quick, though, is it, though, Tom?
No, but I think it is. Emerson's got better pace than Cresswell has. Yeah, it's not maybe express lightning pace, but again, that system, for me... If you give Graham Potter that team, let's say, I think easily that is one of the best.
I just don't think we're cut out for this 3-4-3. West Ham are a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Do you know what I mean? Or a 4-4-1-1 with inside forwards.
For me, that when everybody's fit and if Paqueta obviously comes in and whatnot, for me, that's the best team on paper for us. And I think we can play in that system. As I said, I think if you actually play that team, that to me is a decent team that would work in that system.
I just want to answer this comment, Elite. I know you're elite analyst, so there's no point denying it. Christ, James, cheer up. We've played well and we won the game. Well, I don't know what game you was watching, Elite, but you need to go and see do some more analysis on that game, mate. Because first half, we were shite. Didn't have a shot on target. Didn't look like scoring. Right. Second half, Saeed Benrahma, the person who everyone wanted out, remember? Sold. They wanted him gone. Like I said, he was a championship player. Comes on, changes the game. Got to speak about the second half. Right, might as well. let's talk about Jared Bowen, right? Because he is one player that really grinded me into the ground today, Lucas.
Yeah, he's well off the mark right now in every single facet of his game, and he needs to get firing quickly. And as much as I want to drop him, I almost feel like you can't, because he's still as bad as he's been playing. He's still one of our only goal scoring threats, but he's so off the mark right now. It's hard not to want to drop him for Cornet. Like he's just literally in every single facet of his game, he's so off.
He was poor, mate. Like Tom Bowen, man. How did he stand the pitch for the whole game?
As I said, the only change you probably could have made was maybe to Cornet to come on and play there. I think he'll get it together. Yes, it is a little bit worrying. Maybe he does need a bit of a rocket up his arse to sort of say, look, your position isn't guaranteed in the team if you're going to continue performing like that. Because unfortunately, with the start we sort of had to the season, we don't need the passengers. I'm not saying that he is a passenger, but compared to what he has been the last year and a half, you'd expect better performances from him. That was all I'd sort of say about him. Once again, like there's parts like in that second half if this was last season when we were playing against Villa away, if Jared Bowen has got the ball 1-on-1 and he's through with the keeper, he slots that home 9 times out of 10. But I think again the confidence for whatever reason is just not there. But after the summer that he's had, he's got Danny Dyer, everything's going great. He's got the England call up. He's got basically everything he's ever dreamed of, and then all of a sudden, the start of the season's just been, he's just not quite there yet. So listen, I think he'll come good.
This.
But
so Danny just put a super chat in there for us. Nice one, so Danny, you absolute legend of the game. Ben round the ball with 3 little love eyes, so to speak. Carry on, Tom.
I think yes, he was poor today, but again, like last year, I think Bowen 9 times out of 10 would have absolutely buried that. I think he'll come good, but I just think he just needs a bit of a rocket up his arse.
He needs to bang that shot though on his weak foot as well. Last season, he definitely has a shot.
That's the thing. I think is what I'm sort of trying to get at with the players.
Yeah.
If you're confident, whether or not it's on your weak right or left foot, you would, as Lucas just said, you take that shot on. But for me, you just don't look confident right now. And I think that showed the fact that he wanted to cut it back onto his left.
But even the pass though, Tom. Ben Rama's in acres of space. He's only got to just look over to his left. Ben Rama's there, yeah. And he tries to. He done what he done last season at the start of last season with his head down on the floor and running.
He's still got to play that on his weak foot though. Which I mean, let's be realistic. If Bowen's not going to take a shot on his weak foot, he's not going to pass it either.
Well, he should do though.
He should. Yeah, no, he should. But again, I personally don't like the confidence argument, because if you're a player like Jared Bowen, you are on the field to create and score goals, and if you're not shooting, that's detrimental to the team. You're hurting the team by not taking a shot on or creating something. So I don't know.
What do you think of Kara today?
Thought he was brilliant.
I thought he was good. Him and Zuma were the best players today. And
interestingly enough, as well, if you saw in the first half when he was playing in the back five, he was Zuma played sort of the left side of Kara, and then he sort of played as the middle centre back. And then the second half, Zuma went to right centre back, which is his natural position, and Kara then went over to the left. And I thought he was brilliant. I think his range of passing is fantastic. I think he does have reading of the game. I think last week against Brighton was just a bit of a blip, and one of those things that happens in football. I think he'll turn out to be an excellent signing for us. I really do.
Him and Zuma were so bang on today. It was ridiculous.
I mean, some of Zuma's crosses were a little bit Brexit and a little bit just hoof and just get the ball out of there.
He had a great game. He had so many clearances, so many headed clearances.
Yeah.
He had a good passing percentage, 83% I saw for a center half. That's definitely good enough. Yeah. He was my man of the match, and Kara was a very, very close second.
Yeah. I agree.
I'd have to watch. Do you know what? I'm going to have to be honest. I'm going to have to watch it back and see how good he actually played, because I was more so angry with the actual sort of us not progressing forward when we're mainly defending. Be interesting to look that back.
Put it this way. I would ask you this, James. Did you really notice that Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings were on the pitch today? Because I didn't.
Not really.
That goes for every player on the pitch. I didn't notice anyone.
No, but I'm saying like in an attacking set with Villa,
Yes.
I didn't notice Ings or Watkins all day. They really did absolutely nothing, and I think that's largely down to how good Zuma and Kara were.
What about Cafal for you?
Pissed me off a bit. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Just not the same Sufal as the first season. Passing was suspect again.
That hoofball down the line is like, I think that's going to be the death of us, isn't it?
him and the thing was, what I don't understand is that him and Bowen are usually on the same page.
Yeah,
and that they sort of know each other's game in the right time to be sort of overlapping for Sufal. It's just, I don't know.
To be fair, there's only
even Ben Johnson, when he started the game, I didn't think he looked very good there either for the first sort of 10, 15 minutes. I thought he looked just average at best. So
he was solid defensively before he got injured, but again, going forward, we all know he's suspect. But to be honest, I think there's only 3 players that really did not, or 4 players that didn't do my head in today. It was Zuma, Kerr, Benrahma, and Scamacca. I thought Scamacca was very good today, and like I've been saying, everyone wants to drop Antonio for Scamacca. People want to keep Antonio and not play Scamacca. It just doesn't matter until we get other issues fixed. Our midfield again today was absolute dog shit. Ghost, no impact. Until that gets fixed, it doesn't matter who starts. Messi or Ronaldo could have played up top today. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. 100%.
Wouldn't have mattered.
I will talk about the goal. Yeah, but let's talk about this man who's in the chat here. Souček views today. Now, I thought Souček started off well, and then he just went away.
You made a good point. I saw your tweet. He had him and John McGinn were having a very good battle.
Yeah,
Souček was doing well there, but still, it's not all about your one-on-ones with marking a certain player. He still just does not do enough. He's not cutting it.
I agree. What about you, Tom?
I would say Souček. He actually looked somewhat decent, I think, in the first half because Rice looked so bad. I thought in the first half, Rice was just abysmal. He could not place a pass to save his life. The amount of times that he would accidentally, it felt like miss out, like he would just a simple 5-yard pass. The amount of times that he got kicked out of play, it was woeful. And then again in the second half, when Rice got the assist and actually pulled his finger out of his arse, and there was that one, like we haven't seen it at all this season, where he's actually taken the ball and run at a defence, and he did as soon as he got that assist, he did that. Yeah. And I think at that point, then you can kind of see that Souček, he just became a bit of a passenger again. And I think this is why I'm excited to see Paqueta, because I think if you actually put Paqueta in there next to Rice, all of a sudden, I think we'd look so much more of a confident team in midfield anyway. And yeah, I mean, listen, Souček, he did a couple of things right in the first half, but then again, the massive issue for me is he cannot pass to save his life, especially those killer passes that you need. And it wasn't like that. I don't think either team really won the midfield battle. It never felt like either midfield really had control of the game at all. And
But would you agree, though, Tom? Tom, would you agree that the goal that 4-0 scored is fortunate, though, isn't it? It is.
No, of course. Listen, any deflected shot is fortunate at that point. I thought it was a fantastic pass from Rice. It was forward thinking. It was forward thinking, which we've missed. Thingy. Look, and this is the only thing that pisses me off with Snazzy Azzy. I'm not pissed off at you, Snazzy Azzy, but I want to stop that excuse of Souček needing a few weeks rest. He had the whole summer to rest this time round. He had 3.5, 4 weeks off. You're a professional footballer at this level. Yes, you've played every game for us in the last 18 months, but so has Bowen, so has Rice, so has a lot of these players. I'm fed up with that excuse and trying to bail him out for his lack of ability to control the midfield with Rice, his passing ability. Yes, he did wonders for us in his first season, but for me, if Paqueta is signed, that is the straight swap replacement for me. It's him and Rice that play in the midfield. Because unfortunately, I think if we want to progress as a club,
Right.
I don't think Souček can be a partner to Rice in midfield.
Can I ask you a question? I'll ask you a question before I sort of get everyone's like sort of final thoughts on this. If like once Paqueta does sign, I think he is going to sign, and like about 97% sure now.
Well, he's completed his medical apparently.
Would you play him in that system that we played today in the first half, Tom?
I'd be all right. Okay, listen. All right, I know you two don't want to see it. I would.
Look at him trying to swear around it, Lucas.
I would eventually.
I'm letting him explain.
I would eventually like to see that system,
right?
But with Paqueta in with Rice and Benrahma instead of Fornals, and I would like to see how that system works. Whether or not playing that, maybe. Listen, I think if I'm in Moyes' head for Wednesday, he's going to try and match up as best as possible against Spurs, and if that's the case, then we're probably going to see that formation again.
Right.
Would I like to see that system on Wednesday after what I saw in the first half? Probably not. But I think that is a system, again, in the future that if it is worked on, it can work. If you've got a midfield that control the game, you've got players that want to speed up the game and all that I said at the start. But as I said, I don't think for Wednesday that is going to be the best solution because, unfortunately, unlike Villa, I think Spurs will score quite a few goals if we played like we did in the first half. But again, I don't think it's necessarily all the system's fault. I think the players have to take some responsibility as well. That's all I'd say.
Lucas, I know you've been waiting.
I mean, I'm just dealing with people telling me how great we were the second half.
I've got to be honest.
Right, hang on. How we have played this season, there was a part in the second half for about 30 minutes or 20, 25 minutes where we at least looked a dominant side that it was as soon as Villa were clearing it, we were coming back at them. We were. You can't, yes, fair enough. It wasn't the best performance, but we were at least showing the intent to attack. And especially the way that we have played in the last 3 games,
I intend to will us to 3 points every week, but it doesn't always work out.
But we got 3 points. It doesn't really
matter.
Okay,
and my intention is to will this team spiritually to win every single match. It doesn't happen. Intent doesn't fucking matter unless you apply it.
But there's been no confidence in the team in the last few weeks. Yes, it wasn't the greatest performance in the world, but sometimes you need to just have a performance where you necessarily haven't played great, but you do something right for about 5, 10, 15 minutes.
So we're comparing cow shit to horse shit.
No, but
what is better?
No, because of how the season is started. Because of how the season is started, sometimes you just need to take, even like I said, if it is 10
I'm
to
putting
15,
me there.
let me get this fucking point across. If you have, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes where you look better and for the other time it's shit or whatever, you come away and you got 3 points. Yes, it was ugly. Yes, it was smash and grab. But who the fuck cares? As long as you put in 10 to 15 minutes where you were good enough and look better than the first 3 games of the season to get 3 points.
But you have got to admit, though, Tom, I don't care, right? All I care about is the 3 points. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. Get it 100%. But there's 2 sides of this fucking coin.
No, we'll play 75 minutes like we did today into Wednesday, and I'm sure we will be happy, joyous on Wednesday.
Right. Well, don't get this misconstrued, right? If the 75 minutes to me, it doesn't matter at this point because now you've actually got 3 points on the board. You take confidence from the 15, 20 minutes that you played well, and then you build on it from that. That, for me, is how it should work going into Spurs. Ignore the fact that you played shit for the first 75 minutes. Enjoy the fact that you got 3 points. You got the win.
Over the moon, we got 3 points.
Right. No. I'm talking the team in itself. Yeah. Take what you did in those 15, 20 minutes and then just take the confidence from that. And then
we should apply that. I agree. Yeah. But it's this. I just can't believe I'm literally speechless from what I'm hearing.
Right, I've got to say this. That's a great point. Forest done to us what we've done to Villa. Exactly what we've done to Villa. Let's be honest here, Tom. Let's be truthfully honest here right now. could you really see us score? Did we have a clear-cut chance in the second half that Martinez had to make a save other than the goal, really?
Scamacca had one shot at him.
Allen, yeah, it was like deflected and that slowed the ball down. Other than that, we had nothing. The thing is, I hear what you're saying, Tom. Don't get me wrong. Right? I'm over the moon with one. Fuck me, I've been waiting long enough, and so have we all.
Well, I think the build-up play. Okay, for me, the main issue for us the last 2-3 weeks, especially in the Premier League, has been the build-up play. It's transitioning from the defence to midfield to attack. We saw it for a goal against Freiburg the other day, but we haven't seen that in the Premier League. And I think, yes, the end product wasn't there to have the shot, etc., and actually score the goal. But I think the actual build-up play in those 15, 20 minutes looked 10 times better, especially after Benrahma came on. We actually looked like we could create something. Yes, the end product wasn't good, but you're not going to have that confidence, especially when you started the season as poorly as us, which is what I'm saying now. All of a sudden, you've got a win. You've got a confidence. You're going into a London derby at home. You've got the crowd that's going to be up for it. I just think it will be a completely different atmosphere for the team going into that. I think you have to look at the positives rather than the negatives, because if we're going to look at the negatives for the first 75 minutes or whatever, we're going to leave this video and we're going to think, oh, fuck me, we even won a game today, but we haven't. Yes, there are some negatives, but let's build on those positives is all I'm trying to say.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, Tom, this is what
Don't laugh at me, Lucas.
How?
Right. I just want to get this out there
today, besides we picked up 3 points.
Right, Lucas, I just want to get this out there, yeah? But, Tom, you have got to be honest, yeah? Moyes could have got that completely wrong today. We could have fucking lost that game in that first half. It was lucky that Villa was shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, good, but it didn't happen. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, it could have done, but it didn't. But it didn't.
I'll take a lucky 3 points every single day of the week, but that doesn't mean I really just do not understand where you're coming from, and it's frustrating me.
I don't understand how more black and white I can be about it. Right, basically, all I'm saying is, yes, the performance was shit for about 70 minutes of the game, but at the end, we got 3 points, we won ugly, and we move on to Spurs. All right, we've got a big sign.
So how do you look at?
There's some confidence in the team. Sorry, go on, James.
Right, so how do you look at this now for the Spurs game? Because are we going to set up like we did in the first half against Villa? Because that's the fear. I don't want us to set up like that. No, I really don't.
Personally, people are entitled to it. The way I'm trying to look at it is I think that maybe David Moyes will want to match up against Spurs, right? But maybe with different personnel. Because at the moment, I think Benrahma's undroppable. I don't think you can drop him.
So explain the personnel to me then, Tom. If you can. If you can explain you said about the personnel. And today we started off with that team in the first half, which was shit. Yeah. So who do we take out and to make us play better?
If Paqueta is fit, right, genuinely, I would have Paqueta in with Rice and I would have Benrahma instead of Fornals, because I think all of a sudden then you remove Souček and you've got more of an attacking threat with Paqueta, and you remove Fornals and you've definitely got more of an attacking threat from Benrahma. At least you've then got somebody with Paqueta in midfield that can actually pick a pass and try to create an opening and can play as that 10, and then you've got Benrahma who will really look to attack the fullbacks.
Right. But do you think, though, for me, Tom, I'm going to be honest with you. When I look at West Ham in that system, I don't like it. I just fear that we're not.
All I would say is that because you've become so used to David Moyes playing in the 4-2-3-1 that if he does change it to something different, you're panicking a little bit.
It's not so much that. It's not so much that because I'm up for a change. Don't get me wrong. 4-2-3-1 for me, he's getting a bit stale. But I like a 4-3-3. With inside forwards and things like that. And I like us to be on the front foot. Like today, in that first half, I understand what Lucas is saying, because I feel what Lucas is saying. We was fucking terrible. And for a team that was so defensively minded, we was always having to defend in that first half. We didn't look like attacking at all, because the ball will go up to Scamacca and he'll be isolated. He'll be on his own. Someone said it to me on Twitter. They said, James, if Antonio's up there, it's the same thing. And I said, I agree. There's no choice. It would have been worse. But Wednesday's game, we should be playing our way, not Spurs' way.
If Scamacca was on the pitch the last 15, 20 minutes that we looked better, we probably win 2-0. I think Scamacca scores how open it got and all the space.
I think genuinely though, I think Skamaka will benefit massively if Benrahma starts and having Paqueta there, because the lack of service today for Skamaka was
something I can agree on.
The service to Skamaka was woeful in that first half, and I felt sorry for him because his control of the ball when he was backing into the opponents, the skill he's got for a big man with the ball at his feet, and the intelligent runs that he does make are fantastic. He's completely opposite in that respect to what Antonio can do.
His flicks, touches, and passing are unreal.
Exactly. Just find him the fucking ball is all I would say. And if you get him in those areas, he's probably 7 times out of 10 he will score.
Before he got subbed, the ball went out, and he literally looked over at Soufal, and you could literally see him mouth, "Give me the ball."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Even in that first half, Emerson played a ball into him, and he had to sort of head it back down, and then Fornals had like a snatch shot that went out for a goal kick. If he'd have played that into Skamaka's chest, at that point, for a big man, you think he could probably do anything. He could hold his defenders off. He could wait for somebody to come and join into the play that he could lay it off to, or he could do something to get past his man. But for me, it was weird because in the Viborg games, he's got that service, but in the Prem, he just hasn't. So
I want to see.
He's proven if he does get that service, he's going to fucking score a goal.
I want to see Emerson on Sunday, or not Sunday, Wednesday. I really do. I could be completely wrong about him.
You must have just read my mind, right? How did you think Emerson played usually?
I think him getting hooked at halftime was absolutely criminal. I really do, because he wasn't that great, but he literally, he may have made one mistake.
I think unfortunately he will end up being the casualty in the fact that Moyes, when he wants to go back to the back four, is he will. As James always says with his favourites, he will keep certain people on the pitch. And I think the fact that that was his first game, that is probably why.
Was you surprised, Tom, that he played? Considering he signed fucking the other day?
Not really. I think because overall, I think he'll end up be the starting left back over the season. I just think in order for him to change the shape, maybe this week all he's been doing is working Emerson in for that back five, and maybe that was sort of what he's looked at doing with him this week in training to get him ready for the match. But I think ultimately, then when you have to change the system, you then have to probably revert back to who you trust. I think that's why Cresswell. And listen, Cresswell did a really good job of it in the second half when he moved to a back four. I thought Cresswell was, as effective down there. I don't think he did anything wrong to get subbed. I think it was just the change in formation meant that he had to come off and bring Benrahma on. But the
substitution made sense.
Should have also come off at that point as well. I think it should have been maybe Fornals for Benrahma, and then you bring somebody else on as well. Even at half time, we would have put Cornet on for Bowen. That's how I felt, But I don't think Fornals stayed on.
Agreed.
Before we end the show, we have got to talk about David Moyes. Yeah, because to me, this is like a dangerous thing he's doing here. He's experimenting in-house in games, and like for me today, I'll go first. I want both of your opinions before we wrap this up. Yeah, I felt today Moyes got lucky big time, because if that goes wrong in that first half, people will be calling for his head straight away. If we're 2-0 down at half time, and I know we won the game, don't get me wrong, we won the game. It's fucking amazing. I'm over the moon. I can watch Match of the Day tonight. I could fucking dance.
No, because according to you'll be fucking fuming if you watch Match of the Day tonight, so don't do that.
But you've got to be real on this though, Tom, and you have got to be honest in this.
I was only joking.
I know what you're saying. I know you are. But what I'm trying to say to you is Moyes got away with it today. Fucking very much so got away with it.
Here's some positivity for everyone that may think I'm an absolute negative Nancy today. I'm very happy Moyes made a sub at halftime and changed the formation. He did something at halftime where usually, Jesus.
All right. So, you all right? Are you dead? Something's just fallen off. What the fuck's fallen off? Oh, okay. But either somebody's breaking in or Rebecca's died, one of the two. Anyway, sorry.
Carry on, Lucas. Someone's robbing his house. Probably David Moyes. He's fucking
It
robbing
should
there.
be me. I want to do Tom's head in. Piss me off today.
What? I haven't even been negative towards you. I respect your opinion. I'm just giving a different opinion. I haven't even been mean to you.
Listen. I love you. Okay, but what I was saying.
Love that. I've pissed you off, and I haven't even done anything to you.
It's okay. That's what best mates
You're banned
do.
from the wedding.
I love you.
Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to use that word anymore.
Love you.
I'm like, well, Lucas, you're banned from it. I wasn't even invited to it.
I knew you were going to say that.
But what I was saying, a positive I can take from today is that Moyes made changes at halftime, changed the system as well. And I will give him credit for that. Even though we were lucky, I will give him that credit because he never does that. That is a positive today.
Yeah.
Do you want my honest opinion?
No.
Go ahead.
You're going to hate it. I know you are.
I know I will. I still love you, though.
Both of you will. Moyes won us the game. Moyes won us the game. He did.
Fucking hell, Tom.
No, excuse me. Hang on. No, everyone has an opinion. Lucas, come back. Moyes won us the game because if Moyes didn't make those changes, it would. You just as Lucas just said there. Moyes made the substitution to change the game. What did it do? It changed the game, and we got the result. So for me, realistically,
but he had to though, didn't he, Tom? At half time, if he didn't, I fuck it.
He did.
He would have been.
But that's Moyes' decision then to bring Benrahma on. So therefore, you have to say Moyes did well to bring Benrahma on to change the game, which he did. So we'll give credit to Benrahma as well. Yes, maybe it wasn't the best tactical game from David Moyes at all, but I think he's been frustrated the last few weeks. But he made the right call today. He made the right call, and we got a result out of it. So listen, you can be as unhappy as you want. I seem to be a lot happier than you two at the moment.
No, listen, I'm over the moon. Listen, I'm over the moon that we won. Right? Listen, I'm over the moon that we won. Yeah, but I just don't feel the West Ham of old is back. I just don't feel it.
No, it's not. It's by far. He's not
right,
back
and that's the worry with me. Like I look at us and I feel there's something missing. And I know the Paqueta will be a fucking amazing signing.
I think he's the missing piece. I think he's the missing piece.
He probably don't turn up and play till Boxing Day. Do you know what I mean, man, boys? So I don't want to see that system, Tom. That's the one thing with me. I just do not want to see that system.
That's fair enough. And I would like to see the 4-2-3-1. That is my preferred system. Of course it is. And I think having Paqueta in there instead of Souček, I think he is the missing piece because for weeks, especially the first 3 weeks of the season in the Prem, I've said we've missed a 10 that can link play from midfield to attack. And I think if you put Paqueta in there instead of Souček, you've got a positive-minded ball-playing midfielder that can play as a 10, that can pick up in those spaces and gaps between the midfield or in behind the striker. And I think he's the missing piece. So, that's why I'm incredibly excited to see him is all I'll say.
Right. Lucas, you come, you saw, you left, and now you're back.
Sorry, I'm distracted from 5 different avenues right now. I'm in a battle on a hill, one versus the world right now.
Go on, mate.
But what was the question? Or
basically,
I'm sorry.
I know what Tom's saying. Moyes in the second half made the subs that got.
Oh yeah, Tom said Moyes won us the match. I forgot.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know what to really say about that. Besides that, I disagree. I mean,
but did he or did he not make the change that won us the game? Yes or no?
Did Benrahma win us the match?
I think he did. I think he was that good that he changed the game in our favour. Moyes changed the system. Moyes made the substitution. Right, you can say in the first half, maybe you got
I know what won us the match
wrong.
I know what won us the match. It wasn't Moyes.
Pablo Fornals, the waste man that you called before the game.
Mate,
I tell you what, whenever you abuse Fornals, he always scores. I will say that.
Fucking, I'm going to abuse him every week, mate. Listen, I know what won us the match today. It wasn't David Moyes, people. It wasn't even the players. It was the change of system, baby. It was the change of system. The 4-2-3-1.
No, but who did that? Who did that?
Declan Rice.
Players don't just go in at half time and go, "Oh yeah, let's change the system, boys." That's the manager that does that.
Yeah, I agree.
Boys have to get credit.
Yeah, listen, I'll give him some credit, but he fucking drives me mad with this negative shite. I remember seeing this years ago, right, when we first started out. Then I don't know if you'll probably remember, Tom, when we went to like places away from home and we were setting up like 5 at the back against like Man United away, like, and they had just played someone, and I'm thinking to myself, we're doing that again. We shouldn't be doing this, really. Like, West Ham really are a counter-attacking side, and we're setting up so defensively. It was like you'd think West Ham was in a relegation battle today in that first half.
All I will say is as well, Iron's there saying Moyes changed the system because he got it wrong. Well, maybe, we don't know. He got in there at half-time and he said, all right, hold my hands up, lads. Maybe we should have started that, so I'll change it back. So, yeah, on one hand, he may have got it wrong, but then he actually made up for that mistake by changing it. So... Unless we come away with 3 points.
3 points, mate. Yeah.
One of them. Just smile.
Right. Final thoughts time. Yeah, because it's the after thought. Lucas, I'll let you go first, mate. Give me your sort of final thought on this today. I'll let you go.
I'm so happy we got 3 points. Fuck, yes. Come on. Get in there.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
On a real note, I'm happy we finally got off the mark. We have 3 points. I'm not convinced with today's performance. I thought we were lucky. I did say it was undeserved. That could be a little bit of a stretch, but I personally just didn't think we were good at all today. And we did make a turn in the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the match. And for that, I'm grateful. And I will take 3 points any way I can get them. But that doesn't assure me for our next match on Wednesday. We need to play a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that.
And to that, I pass it over to Tom, who will probably make me more angry. But I love him, so it doesn't matter.
It's all love, baby. It's all love. Tom?
I don't think there's anything else I could say to really piss any more people off. But
yeah, there is.
Yeah. All I would say, my final thought is, more than anything, shout out to the away fans that were there today, because the noise from start to finish was fantastic. And I think that would have helped the players go through. I've just seen a clip of Rice on Twitter actually going over to the away fans, slapping the badge and giving it all that. As I said...
I need to see that. I need my mood lifted.
Look, Christ on a bike, what is happening?
The spirits...
fucking candles on the side, the wind blowing them over. Right, anyway, all I would say is it was a dogged performance, but at the end of the day, you take confidence from the fact you've won a game, you've got a big signing coming through the door that will lift the mood even more. Things are positive. It wasn't a good game for 70 minutes. Forget that. Take the positives from the game, the fact we've won, the fact we've scored, move on from it, and let's actually just start our season now. Let's really kick on from this point, and... anything can happen in a London derby. Anything can happen, especially Spurs, as Snazzy Addy just said, they're under the lights and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Just bring on. Bring it on.
My final thought is this, game of 2 halves today, in my opinion. First half, shambolic. Shit. Don't like the system. Don't want to see that system again. It isolates our attackers and we're too defensive, in my opinion. Second half, Moyes did change the system. I think he had to eat a bit of a humble pie because he knew how bad he was in the first half. Brings the players off. Syed Benrahma, everyone didn't want this man at the club a year ago or 6 months ago and said, he needs to be sold. And he comes on and he did make an impact to a point in the 4-2-3-1 system. We get the goal, lucky goal, but we'll take it. Right, we'll take any sort of win today to get us started. Yeah, and that's the main thing. I do agree with Lucas, though. We have to play better than that because against better teams, they will be 2 or 3-0 up on us before we've even kicked into gear. It shouldn't take us 45 minutes to turn up. Do you know what I mean? We can't be playing games and playing 45-minute halves. We can't. There's no two ways about it.
But I don't have a clue. I don't know what I'm watching. That's what people.
Nor do I, Lucas. Nor do I. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone said that we were going to win 4-0 today, but obviously they're wrong. And basically. On Wednesday night, it's going to be under the lights. It's Spurs, Paqueta, everything. I just don't want to see that system. I really don't. I fear if we set up again like that again, I don't want to see it. I think we get rolled in that system. So that is just me. 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, a 4-3-1-2 system. Give me any of them three all day long. I'll take any of them three, but just not three at the back with wing backs because it just kills us in attack, in my opinion. And that's it, lads. Smile, we've all won.
I need to get off Twitter and maybe I will smile.
Can I just say as well, Hammerhead in the chat, yes, he has completed his medical bile accounts. I think it's just down to paperwork and visas and stuff that needs to be sorted. Similar with Isak, because he was supposed to play this weekend for Newcastle, but they couldn't sort out his visa and work permit and stuff. So, but he'll qualify because he's got 30 plus games for Brazil and he's been playing in Europe for a few years. So
I said today, I think depending on the result is when we could see the announcement. I think we may get a cheeky little.
I think we get a teaser tonight, but I don't think they'll announce him till tomorrow.
Oh, the devils! The absolute little devils they are.
Yeah,
teasing us.
Yeah, it's like they get his name right.
Teasing me, naughty.
It's like if they're spelling his name.
You teasing me?
It's like they spell it fucking right. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, for fuck's sake, please. P-A-Q-U-E-T-A. Paqueta.
100%. Right,
he's Brazilian, if you didn't know.
Thank fuck we're getting some Brazilian magic to the end. I will admit that. Listen, I want to thank everyone who's watched today. I really do appreciate everyone who's tuned in for this little mini debate. Yes, we won, but the performance was a bit iffy today, but we got there in the end. We done exactly what Forest done to us the other week, and we're done it to Villa today. So we move on. Spurs, Wednesday. We'll be there. Hopefully, get the win.
Up the blood clot irons, baby.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.